I'm the man now. Nobody ever gave a handout. For the stretch, talking grams loud. Cut them off and hand out. Bro talk, what's that about? Yo, what's going on, people? You know who it is. It's Tay Riz broadcasting live and direct from the Man Cave as usual. Those subscribers out there that is not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that bell. If not subscribed to the Twitter page, hit that bird at TAE_WIGGS. And of course, the link to my website is below. First and foremost, we had two games that was on last night. Both teams that played last night was on the brink of elimination. So, with that being said, with those two teams getting ready to go home or trying to stay alive or trying to keep from being eliminated, as follow the Utah Jazz and the Houston Rockets. This was a great game, first and foremost. The Utah Jazz got off to a slow start. They started picking things up, but as the game transpired, as we go through what was going on, I was looking at where certain players they could have needed that last night, but they was hurt. So we know that it's a big difference when you losing your star point guard and Ricky Rubio. The distributor, the ball wasn't getting passed around. The flow of the game took a while before everybody started catching up to speed. And Derek Favors, 5 points and 5 rebounds off the bench. You know he's been starting so far throughout these playoffs. It was a call, maybe he wasn't performing well in the last game. Set him down, put in Jay Crowder, who came into the lineup, gave you a little bit of help with his 8 rebounds to go along with his 6 points. But the main factor of this game was, to me, I knew Donovan Mitchell was going to be Donovan Mitchell. Hands down. If you can't see he's not Rookie of the Year, like I keep saying, it's something wrong with you guys' eyeballs. Because I've been riding this guy's coattail and building the horse, letting you know that he was something special all the way back during Summer League. And I think people just not picking and grasping up to see what's going on to the playoffs, because a lot of people can't afford NBA TV and stuff like that. And I was telling people the whole season, it was a couple of guys that you need to be on the lookout for. I said one was Dennis Smith Jr. I said Kyle Kuzma. My dark horse was De'Aaron Fox. I said definitely keep an eye out on Donovan Mitchell, the Utah Jazz. If you can't afford the NBA League Pass, I say, hey, you can make easy payments or installments. It's cheaper on your cell phone. But further, scratch that. I'm looking at where what I seen from this team. I thought this team was great. They finished the season out. They got put out. There's nothing to hang their heads on. I just thought this team right here has what it takes to be good. And not only, but they was getting carried by a rookie. This is a special rookie. Dude had 24 of his 22 points in the third quarter. Now, I'm looking at where Joe Ingles had a little slow start. He had 12 points with his 5 rebounds, 6 assists. But Royce O'Neal, this guy is a hitting GM too. He's not scared at the moment. He's taking the ball to the hole. He's getting easy baskets. And I love what I'm seeing from Royce O'Neal. And, you know, Quinn Snyder, the head coach of the Utah Jazz, he pretty much remind me of a young Brad Stevens. The same coaching philosophy. This team believes in their system. This team breaks things down. They get on their man. They get after it. But when you lose one of your stars in Ricky Rubio to take some of that pressure off Donovan Mitchell handled this pressure very well as a professional as his rookie year. I'm not calling him a rookie no more, because once you make out the regular season into the playoffs, you are now a 1-year pro. This is your second year now. You're a second-year pro now. No more rookies. No more carrying the book bags, the little girl book bags. He has grown up. He is definitely the second-year pro, and he's got what it takes. He's going to be starting this league for years to come. I'm just raving about this guy. Another guy who I thought played great off the bench, Alex Burke. 22 points and 5 rebounds. That was so major. And he was locked in. They couldn't miss. And I'm they couldn't miss. Just imagine if Ricky Rubio was back. At least if Rick would have gave you at least 12 points and 7 rebounds and 7 assists, that would have been crucial for a key-in lock win. Because we know, as I switch things over to the Houston Rockets, this team can easily fold under pressure. Could this be their year? We know Chris Paul had a great game. But let's be honest. Chris Paul didn't pull away until Donovan Mitchell hurt his ankle. Is that fair to say? Is that fair to say? Chris Paul didn't start going off until Donovan Mitchell went down. Yes, Chris Paul had 41 points. Yes, Chris Paul had 7 rebounds, 10 assists, but the big factor was 0 turnovers. The last time that happened was 1977-78 season. That is an accomplishment. His first time in the conference finals. That is huge. And they said, what is that due to his legacy? Chris Paul always been a Hall of Famer in my eyes. There's no doubt about it. One of the best point guards probably in this generation. And what he did last night was very special. He took some of the heat off James Harden. And one guy who actually, and Clint Capella. Clint Capella was actually kind of quiet last night, folks. Clint Capella had 5 rebounds and 5 points. Normally, Clint Capella have monster games, 17 points, 12 rebounds to go along with 4 blocks. But he had 5 points, 5 rebounds. The reason that being said, like I said, is a lot of people that watch basketball and there's other people that look for highlights. When I was dissecting that game about that, PJ Tucker came to life. Draining threes, diving on the floor for loose balls. He had 19 points and 6 rebounds. Now, if PJ Tucker can play like this every game in the next round, the Golden State Warriors are going to be in trouble. That is a fact. The Golden State Warriors will be in trouble and they will have their hands full. And I'm looking at where they contribute. I'm looking at where the certain things that he did last night. And you was like, PJ Tucker showed up. It's not the fact of being crucial of him. I know I have seen in him before in the past. And I know he can do this. It's nothing. As the Houston Rockets won this series 4-1, winning by 112-102. Donovan Mitchell played lights out in the third quarter. He had the Houston Rockets fans on the edge of their seats. So don't act like you didn't know that. Don't act like you didn't know that he was coming, Houston. He was coming. And until James Harden and him collided, he was coming. He was coming. And people trying to act like it's a Utah Jazz. Let's be serious. This Houston Rockets, if this was a 5-game series, this was a tough 5-game series for the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets came out here giving their all, but only James Harden had 18 points and 4 rebounds, but you all consider him an MVP. He was out there guarding Donovan Mitchell most of the time, and Donovan Mitchell was breaking him off. So we're going to go into the next series. The New Orleans Pelicans and the Golden State Warriors. As I told you, I had the Warriors when it's in 4. But they won in 5. They won at home, in front of their fans. They took care of what they supposed to do as they won 113-104. And as they go through this process as winning these games, as I'm here, I'm looking at these stats. I'm looking at where the New Orleans Pelicans doesn't have any help from their bench. I'm really disappointed in Solomon Hill. He went there, he signed a nice contract. He was MIA. Everybody put these MIAs up, a Serge Ibaka, Hassan Whiteside. What about Solomon Hill? Didn't show up. This guy averaged like 2.5 points. That's not going to get you into the next round. They still missing Boogie Cousins. This team still a seed. And went past the limitations and expectations where they're supposed to be at. People was writing them off. I had them losing in the first round. Yes, I had them losing in Game 7 to the Portland Trailblazers, but they swept the Trailblazers. But when you're looking at what E'Twaun Moore and this guy did, 10 points, 4 assists off the start in the starting lineup. Meritovich, 12.7 rebounds. If they can get 20 for Meritovich, we know Anthony Davis chipped in with 34 points, 19 rebounds, and 4 blocks. But if they wanted to beat the Golden State Warriors, Anthony Davis had to score 20 points and had like 12 rebounds at halftime. And I feel like, too, the referees was missing certain calls on Anthony Davis. They was pulling him down to the ground. Kevin Looney, Draymond Green was holding on to the jersey. They like they didn't see it. He was being pulled down. Anthony Davis don't bone rush nobody to the cup. He's more of a finesse player. He pick and chooses his spots on the floor. And I feel to realize that the referees was missing those calls, but you go down on the other end and make the same call. For the home team. I get it. The team that played with the most aggression and firepower get the calls. But the whole notion of this, if you're gonna call one call on the other end of the floor, you have to call the same call on the other end as well. You have to be 100% responsible for what you do in your actions as a referee of calling these calls and making these decisions. Yes, the players play, but guess what? The referees has the final call and say so for what goes on the floor. Drew Holiday, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, a triple-double. Been playing lights-out basketball this second half of the season. I keep reminding folks that the New Orleans Pelicans was dead last in pace of basketball. After the All-Star break, they picked it up and became the number one fast-paced team in the league. Right behind who? Right behind them was the Golden State Warriors as term and pace. This team, Rajon Rondo, I'm going to say this. They lost. Rondo had 7 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds. I feel like Rajon Rondo is a corporate out there. The reason I'm saying that because he always trying to get in Draymond Green and pick a fight. You talk about two of the best instigators in the NBA that I've seen within the last 15 years. These guys going to come at you and going to get in your head. But Rondo, you can't do that because you're not a lethal scorer. I see if he was doing that and trying to score buckets, but you wasn't. I feel like you were at best when you were attacking the hole and putting the ball in the right position for your players. I just feel like you was disengaged last night with the team. I just feel like you was trying to come out there and start a fight with Draymond Green instead of playing Pelicans basketball. The hashtag is called Do It Bigger. And Rondo, you didn't do it bigger last night for the Pels. Alvin Gentry, man, coach, man, what a coach. And they lost the game. I'm looking at, he got his little interview. He said 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Already thinking vacation. You know, this team had a hell of a season, man. I think if they'd had DeMarcus Cousins, this would have been different. And the reason I'm going back to DeMarcus Cousins, now you had two bullies on the floor. And the reason I keep saying, they keep saying, the Warriors went to the Hampton 5 or this lineup. You know why they went to that lineup? They was getting killed on the offensive end. They went small. Because guess why? Because they couldn't stay their regular lineup because they knew they was going to lose this series. If they did, they got in trouble like that. That's how they lost that game 2. So when you seeing that team go down like that and make a move, I mean, like, not game 2, I'm sorry, game 3 at home. When they came back out and went to that smaller lineup in game 4, you knew that they was going to go to the depth lineup. It was just a matter of time that this team was going to come in that lineup. So you knew it was coming. They said they tweaked this against the Cavaliers in the NBA Finals when they won a championship. No. When you in practice, you already had this lineup already. Somebody get hurt, somebody gets on a drink, somebody get leg cramps. You tinker things in practice to see what you have. This lineup happened in practice. I'm not buying it. They threw David Lee in and said, you know what, we're going to change the flow of the game by doing this lineup. That didn't happen like that. You been had this lineup. You did this in practice a couple years back. I'm not buying that. Not at all. Not at all. As KD had 24 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He did his thing. He's a sniper, the Slim Reaper, whatever you want to call him. The guy, like he's saying the second best. I say he's probably third best player in the league at best. At best. And somebody's like, who you think is the second best player? I said, when healthy, Kawhi Leonard. And people always argue, they don't think so. I said, Kawhi Leonard might be the best. He played offense and defense. Kevin Durant don't play that much defense. He's more of a decoy because the best defender on their team is, we know who he is Draymond Green. And he is the best all-around player in the league. He's the Army Swift Knights of that team. So I'm looking at Draymond Green, speaking of Day-Day, 9 assists, 14 rebounds, and 19 points. Draymond Green does that for you. He's going to win games for you. And one thing he's very underrated on, Draymond Green, is he's a great passer. He put players in the right situation to do certain things out there on that court. And they always talk about, he's this and that. But the one thing they never give credit to is Draymond Green. He is a hell of a ball passer, hands down. Klay Thompson with 23 points. Shot terrible from the three-point line. But one thing I'm going to say about Klay Thompson, this is one player I know for a fact in the league who will light it up on you in the heartbeat. Steph Curry does what Steph Curry does. Not going to talk more about him. We know what he do, man. 8 assists, 7 rebounds, and 28 points with 4 steals. What more do Steph Curry has to do, man? He's one of the most pure lethal shooters I have ever witnessed in the league, besides a Ray Allen and a Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller don't get that much credit because they always give more credit to Ray Allen. But Reggie Miller, hands down. Reggie Miller was, honestly, your Steph Curry back in the day. You couldn't leave Reggie Miller open from 15 feet, from 34 feet, or anywhere around the perimeter. Reggie Miller was cold-blooded. And they never talk about Reginald Miller, who went to UCLA Bruins and who went and got drafted by the Indiana Pacers. The young Reggie Miller with the flat-top, skinny kid from California. Military background. And they never give Reggie Miller his due. So up to you, to whoever's watching this, Reggie Miller, my friend, I'm giving you your due, man. One hell of a shooter. Never talk about you as that much, man. One of the guys who always, and the crazy thing, people say I should shoot like him because I should shoot with 2 hands, man. And so I had to learn a different way to shoot. I used to shoot with 2 hands, and people don't know that. They always say, man, you shoot like Reggie Miller, and people already know if you leave me open, like Randy Moss would say, I am straight cash homie. And until then, folks, I'm Tay Wiggs. I'm signing out. Peace.